All right, everybody. So I want to show you guys how we can add something. So we now know enough that we can build a model for that game. Okay. There's just a couple more things we got to do. I'm going to show you it. So we are building, we're using this open source game called Super Tux Kart, which is a little racing game. If you haven't played it yet, kind of looks like this. Kind of like Mario Kart, essentially. Okay. So we're going to build a little character for it. Okay, one of these little, they're called carts, essentially. Okay. And you can build it using Blender. That's how actually all the characters in the game were built with Blender. And I have a little link. There's a link in iLearn, but if you go to where it says get involved, you can go to get installing tools. Okay. So they're going to talk about things like for basically photo editing and stuff, which we already know how to do. We got Photoshop and such. What we're going to do, this is for the Blender part. We need to install a plugin. Actually, we have to install 2 plugins. Okay. So there's some code that we need to install into our operating system for Blender. Okay, so if you go here, there's a link, like I said, in iLearn for this. This is the code. We're actually going to download these 2. The easiest way is this is GitHub, which is a repository for code. We're going to go here and we're just going to download. Okay, hit download. They're pretty small files because they're really just code. Okay. I'm just going to put this on my desktop for now. Now, what we need to do is this has our plugins. These are the 2 plugins we actually need for Blender. And we need to install it into Blender. Now, how you do that depends on whether you have Windows, meaning you're using like a Windows computer, or you're using a Mac computer, which means you're running Mac OS X as your operating system. I'm currently on Mac OS X. So I'm going to show you that first, and then I'll show you how to do it for Windows. So what you would do is if you're on a Mac machine, go to your applications folder, which is all your applications, and find Blender, which is right here. Okay. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to right click and you're going to go to where it says show package contents. This actually lets you look at the files that make up the application. Okay, so it's going to open to this extra panel here. Okay, and we want to go to where it says resources. And then we want to go to where it says scripts. So actually what we want to do is you want to find, this is the version of Blender. So mine is 2.93. If you have a more, your number might be slightly different. It might be like 3.1 or whatever the current version of Blender is. But you want to go inside of that, go inside where it says scripts, and then there should be a folder called add-ons. Okay. So these are sort of plugins that we can install into the program. And basically all I'm going to do is just take these and drag them and drop them in. Okay, make sure you don't put them inside of a different folder. We want these to be in the same level as everything else. So I click and drag, and there's my files. Okay. So what I would do is now that I've done that, I'm going to quit Blender. And let's go back into the program. And we're going to go to the preferences for Blender, which you can get to by going under edit and then preferences. And this opens up a whole thing here. And we're going to go to where it says add-ons. Okay. Add-ons are plugins, essentially. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to search. There's going to be a lot of these that are grayed out. And you're going to look for one. One is called Super Tux Kart Exporter Tools. Let me go here, Super Tux Kart. And if it's not on, you're going to want to check it on. So for instance, They may not be, you know. There's where import, export, super tuxcart tools, turn it on. It's not, when you install it manually like we did, it doesn't defaultly turn it on, but we want to be able to use it. So we want to make sure that is turned on. And then there's another one called import, export, SPM. SPM is the format that the super tuxcart game takes. And that has to be turned on, okay? If you are running Windows, let's see if I can show it to you really quickly. The process is kind of the same. You would download this folder from that site I showed you. Hold on. I'm actually running a separate computer right now that's running Windows, so I can show it to you for Windows. This is the call number for this one. 828-573-7066. Oops. All right, I'm going to switch over to my Windows version just to show you how this would work. I gotta stop sharing so that the other, so I can share my other one. So I'm on my Windows machine here. Okay. So I have, the way it would work here is I would go to where the, if you have Windows, you got to go to where it says, this is called File Explorer. Okay. And this is File Explorer. And what I'm actually going to do is go up here and I'm going to type the following thing. I'm going to put in percentage app data, all uppercase, and then percentage again, and then hit return. And what that actually does is this is kind of, this allows you to put plugins into a program. So that gets me to here. This is, we want to go under Blender Foundation, Blender, the version you're using, scripts, and then add-ons. And then you would drag and drop them in just like I did for the Windows version. Then you would go to Blender, go to Edit, Preferences, and then do that same thing where you turn them on. So that's how you would do it for both Windows and Mac.